What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Apocalypse RDA. So I know I'm a little bit late to the game with this review here, but I really wanted to talk about the Apocalypse because it's so incredibly popular. This is one of the first RDAs that I heard the term Goon killer. I know it's really tough to dethrone the Goon RDA, but this one here definitely has a lot going for it. This one's made by our friends over at Armageddon Manufacturing. Awesome guys to deal with. I met them at VCC Tampa where they gave me this little beauty right here. So before I get started with this video, I do have to state my intent by saying that I did receive this product for free from the manufacturer for the purpose of doing this video. However, it has no monetary value to me, which means my opinions on it will remain honest and unbiased, of course, as always. With that being said, I'd like to give a huge shout out and thank you to the people over at Armageddon Manufacturing. They're the ones that gave this thing to me at VCC Tampa. Really awesome guys, I can't stress that enough, and I really hope to get some of their future products. So taking a look at their website, this device is available in a whole slew of different colors. It comes in black, stainless, gold, brass, copper, red cotton candy, blue cotton candy, flat blue, polished blue, green, and heat treated, just to name a few. You also have the option to choose whether you want a gold build deck or a stainless steel build deck. So no matter what, there's a color for everyone out there. I am absolutely loving this blue cotton candy kind of splatter look to the one that I picked up. And I gotta say, really, really good prices for these as well. They just lowered the price to $39.99 to $49.99. So basically, it looks like the stainless steel build deck versions are $39.99 and the gold build deck versions are $49.99. So I remember when this device first came out, these things were pretty darn expensive, so them dropping the price makes it that much more tempting. So if you guys want to pick one of these up, I'll leave a link right down there in the description. I would recommend going to their site soon because a lot of these color options are selling out quickly, but there's still plenty to choose from, of course. And without further ado, let's go down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, as you can see here, I've got the Apocalypse in its original little plastic square container thing, so let's just take it out of there. You guys ready for this? Okay, so there you go. We have the little velvety bag printed with the Armageddon logo right there. And of course that contains the Apocalypse, which we'll take a look at in just a second. But first, let's take a look at the spare parts that they give you. Of course, you have your obligatory set of O-rings. There's one for everything, including the little drip tip part, as well as an anodized colored set of screws. So that's kind of cool too. It's a little extra flair you can add to your dripper if you wanted to. So that's what they give you in the box right there. Alright guys, so here's the Apocalypse itself. Let's just quickly run through some of these basic features. It's got a 21mm build deck, a 4mm deep juice well, 13mm of total wire space under the clamps. Positive post is insulated with a peak insulator. The drip tip size will fit any 12.4mm drip tip, which is commonly known as the 810 or Kennedy Goon tips. It's got a 5mm airflow control, which is teardrop shaped, and that includes both the single and dual coil configuration for maximum customization. It has a fatter drip tip, all gold-plated deck, which of course only applies to the gold-plated versions. You can get them in stainless steel as well. Oversized bridged clamps, lengthened screws, and it's serialized. Alright guys, so let's go over this thing top to bottom here, starting with the drip tip. So it's just a standard Kennedy Goon 810 tip, but it is a little bit fatter and taller than most I've seen. And that's kind of nice because I get absolutely no heat with this thing whatsoever. I can definitely appreciate that. And there you can see the bore right down the middle, which is nice and wide. And that fits into the top cap section here, which you'll note that it has a O-ring on the inside, which you get a spare of course, in your little parts baggie. It's got these little kind of fins on the side here, which I really don't think are actually functional, similar to the Elite V2. I don't think they would really do a lot of good as far as heat reduction there at the top, but here is the top cap and the airflow control sections. There you can kind of see the teardrop configuration, which is pretty neat. And there's also this little kind of rounded chamfer on the inside here, which actually, I feel like it makes a difference. I don't know, maybe that's just my own kind of personal thought there, but I feel like that does make a difference as far as the overall smoothness of the airflow. Then we have the barrel section of the top cap, so let's just remove that and show you guys how pretty these engravings look. Yeah, really nice engravings on this one here. I love this splatter design. And the gas mask, oh man, that is a cool looking gas mask with the Apocalypse on the other side there. Very, very cool stuff. And of course your big 5mm airflow section right there. and the pièce de résistance, the build deck. So here we have the gold-plated build deck and our big chunky clamps there at the top. Big screws. I really like the screw heads on this one. Flathead screws, nice and chunky, so you're not going to strip them out. Feels really solid. I can really crank down on this thing with no fear whatsoever that anything's going to break. And you can see the juice well as well there. So let's just flip it over to the bottom real quick for you. And there we go. We see the engravings on the bottom, Armageddon Manufacturing, and my serial number. This is batch 4, 14856. So there we go. That is an up-close look at the Apocalypse Gen 2 from Armageddon Manufacturing. Let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of the video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting up today with the pros, and my first pro is that it's super easy to build. Now, normally I'll do a Fresh Build Friday video on a certain device just to kind of introduce it to you guys out there and just kind of let you know what I've got going on and what I'm vaping on for that particular week. But this way we're doing it kind of backwards. I still haven't done a Fresh Build Friday video. I might just do something on it in the very near future, so stay tuned for that. But in any case, yeah, this thing is incredibly easy to build. I'm pretty sure I can set my own personal build record as far as speed goes with this one here because it is incredibly easy. You just slide your coils in, tighten them down with those big chunky screws, and you're off and vaping in a matter of minutes. My second pro today is that it looks amazing. Every single version of the Apocalypse that I've seen just looks really cool. I mean, I'm super happy with the splatter paint on mine. The engravings are absolutely gorgeous and really nice and classy. Grim Green picked one up at VCC Tampa as well, and I was kind of a little bit jealous because his was kind of more on the plain side, but it just looked super duper classy and just so awesome. So yeah, everything about this device just is super nice and clean and just cool looking. My third pro today is that it has plenty of smooth airflow. Now, smooth is the key word with this one here because I get no restriction whatsoever as far as it being kind of turbulent or anything like that. It's nice, kind of, as Grim would say, swooshy, and it feels really nice to vape on. Normally with the round air holes, I feel like it tends to whistle, but with this one here, I get no whistling whatsoever. It's nice and quiet, and that I can definitely appreciate. And my fourth pro is it's compatible with 810 tips. Now, I really didn't think that this thing would work with 810 tips at first because just taking a look at the stock tip that comes with it doesn't have the traditional Goon, Kennedy, or 810 tip look to it, but I have tried my own 810s on here and they work beautifully. And my fifth and final pro is it's the Goon killer. This is the RDA that's been hailed as the one that can take out the 528 Customs Goon. Personally, I have mixed feelings about that. I love my Goons, but I also love my Apocalypse as well. For me, it's more about the lore behind it, you know? I see all the time on Facebook groups and on forums, people saying that the Apocalypse is the Goon killer, you know, it's going to take the top spot for best RDA, and I really love that the fans of the Apocalypse are so passionate about it. Alright guys, so moving on to some cons. I've only got two of them, so this part will be pretty quick, but my first con is that the O-rings on the build deck itself are a little bit loose. Now, normally I like to be able to hold my entire setup by the top cap section, and I have absolutely no faith in this right now. If I just give it a little wiggle, there you go, you can see my setup just dropped like a rock there, and that's kind of a bummer because all they have to do to fix this issue is just beef up the size of those O-rings a little bit, and I really feel like that would solve the problem. And my only other con is more or less a suggestion for a future version of the Apocalypse. I've seen a lot of Chinese-made devices with similar build deck setups that are spring-loaded. They have springs underneath the little clamps that assist it up, and it makes it that much easier to stick your coils in there. Personally, what I had to do is flip the thing upside down as I slotted my coils through there, and that helped a little bit, but I feel like it would be even easier to do it if the posts themselves were spring-loaded, and I know it is possible. I have seen it before. Hopefully they can come up with a solution for that in a future version. So with all that being said, is this device worth purchasing? Would I go out of my way to pick one of these up if I didn't get this one for review? Hell yes, I would. Absolutely no question in my mind. I would definitely pick up an Apocalypse RDA, especially at the price point that they're at right now. I mean, that is a hell of a deal. It's got a lot going for it. Form, function, fashion, everything. It looks good. It performs well. I am super happy with it, and I really think they did an excellent job with this one here. So if you guys want to pick up an Apocalypse for yourself, make sure you check out the link I've got right down there in the description. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Don't forget to click that notification bell right next to the subscribe button if you want to be alerted whenever I upload videos. Also, leave me some comments in the box below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the Apocalypse or anything else you guys want to discuss down there. Also, make sure you check out the advocacy and my social media links right down there in the description. You can check out my Teespring account and pick yourself up a Daily Vape TV hoodie. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on!